Very good evening. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನಂಬರ್ 6 ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸು 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಆಡಿಯೋ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾರು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೇರ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ದ ಮೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಫಂಗೈ. The mode of nutrition found in fungi, it's a saprophytic because dead and decaying material, whatever is there, they eat those dead and decaying material. That's why it's a saprophytic mode of nutrition. Then autotrophic mode of nutrition, you already know. Okay, whatever the organism produce their own food, that's called as autotrophic mode of nutrition. Then holozoic mode of nutrition. It's a ingestion of solid or liquid materials and directly digested inside the body. It is called as what? Holozoic mode of nutrition. Then parasitic mode of nutrition. Parasitic mode of nutrition is nothing but that nutrition occurs by depend on another organism body, or leading a life inside the another organism body. It's called as a parasitic mode of nutrition. That's why it's right answer. First question though, the mode of nutrition found in fungi, right answer in pandre saprophytic mode of nutrition. Next second question, the site of photosynthesis in plant is which one? It's a leaf. Okay, stem is part of a shoot system. Flower is called as a attracting part of a plant body because to attract insects for pollination, flowers are colored ones. The next one, fruits. Fruits are they are the they contain the seed for germination. Then in amoeba, food is digested in the vacuole, food vacuole. Okay, not in mitochondria, not in pseudopodia. Chloroplast is absent in amoeba. Then the contraction and expansion movement of the walls of a food pipe, it's called as a peristaltic movement. It is called as a what? Peristaltic movement. Okay, transpiration, translocation, these are two processes occurs in plants. Okay, digestion occurs in human beings. Okay, whenever the food is enters to our small intestine, large intestine, or food pipe. Okay, from mouth to anus, whatever the process is going on, that's a digestion. What are the products obtained by anaerobic respiration? What are the products obtained with the help of anaerobic respiration? Okay, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, two types of respiration are there. In anaerobic respiration, ethanol, carbon dioxide, and energy is released. Okay, with a simple reaction I want to explain for you. C6H12O6, it's a food in the form of glucose, or it may be starch. Okay, in absence of oxygen, what it gives? It gives ethanol, C2H5OH, plus what it gives carbon dioxide and a liberation of small amount of energy, because in anaerobic respiration small amount of energy is released. Then whenever we come to aerobic respiration, C6H12O6, glucose oxidized in presence of oxygen. What it gives? It gives a carbon dioxide, then water, and releasing a large amount of energy. The next one case is there, another one, which one? Lactic acid. Okay, first of all, glucose undergo a reaction, and it turns into pyruvate. It's what 600 atom carbon atom turns into 3 atom carbon atoms food molecule. Then pyruvate, lack of oxygen, because of a lack of oxygen it turns into lactic acid, and there also liberation of a small amount of energy. But these kind of reactions forms some muscle cramps. What they forms? They form some muscle cramps. Next, pyruvate, I already told for you, it's a 3 carbon atom compound. the breakdown of the breakdown of Next question. The breakdown of pyruvate give a carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay. Energy takes place in where it takes place. It takes place. Okay. Carbon dioxide, water and energy is released means large amount of energy is released. Where the large amount of energy releases in mitochondria. In mitochondria. Next. Which plant tissue transport water and minerals from roots to leaf? Okay. It's what xylem. Xylem what acts as a water conducting tissue. Then phloem acts as a food conducting tissue. Then parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. But these are the types of tissues present in plants. Okay, parenchyma based on their cell wall, they are classified. A blood vessel which pumps the blood from heart to entire body, it's called as a artery. And whatever the blood vessel receives the blood from all parts of the body, what a blood from all parts of the body to heart, that's called as a vein. That's called as a vein. Then next, hemoglobin is a oxygen carrier. Then capillaries interconnect arteries and veins. Name the tube which connects the kidney to urinary bladder. Okay, it's a ureter. It's a what? Ureter. Tubules are present in kidney. In where in nephron, proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule, they are helpful to secretion of salts and water. Then nephron is a functional unit of a kidney. Then urethra, common passage to urinate, common passage to urinate and to release of sperms. Which part of the nephron allows the selective reabsorption of useful substances, glucose, amino acids, salts, water into the blood capillaries? It's a tubule. Two types of tubules are there in our nephron. That's a proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. They are interconnected to Henle's tube, and again they are connected to collecting duct and glomerulus. Which is the correct sequence of a body parts in human eliminatory canal? Human eliminatory canal starts from mouth to esophagus. The food moves to mouth to esophagus, esophagus to stomach to small intestine to large intestine. That's why option B is the right answer. Identify the correct path of a urine in the human body. First of all, urine is produced in where? Nephron, in kidney. Kidney to ureter, ureter to urinary bladder. In urinary bladder, what some time the urine stored and it released to where? Urethra. From given picture of a digestive system, identify the what parts. Okay, uh, parts labeled as a gastric gland. Okay, here gastric gland, this is the esophagus. Option A is a esophagus. Then this is a what pancreatic gland. Then this is a large intestine. That's why this one B option is the right answer. This is what secretes a gastric juice. That's why it's a gastric gland. Option B right answer. Next, in respiration air passes through. In respiration air passes through. First of all, it purifies in nasal cavity. Then afterwards, pharynx to larynx to trachea to bronchi to bronchioles to alveoli. It diffuses. Okay, it gives oxygen and it takes carbon dioxide. I can bring back with reverse order. Where up to nasal cavity. The process in which loss of water takes place in the form of water vapor through stomata is called as a transpiration. Option B right answer. Okay, transportation, the food material or water transfer to one part of the body to another part of the body is called as a transportation. Then guttation, it's a type of food processing system. The next one, which one? Translocation, it is also occurs in plants. The next, the filtration, what the filtration units of a kidney are called? They are called nephrons. Then now we are going to discuss about one more questions. What is a nutrition? The process by which living organisms take in food and use it to obtain energy for the growth and development is called as a nutrition. What is the role of saliva in digestion of food? Starch part of a food is converted into sugar. Starch part of a food is converted into sugar. See, saliva secretes a enzyme called amylase. Which enzyme? Amylase. Okay, amylase converts maltase into maltose. Oh, sorry, very sorry. What maltose is converted into maltase. Okay, where in our mouth. Okay, starch part of food is converted into sugar. Define the peristaltic movement we already discussed. The contraction and expansion movement of the walls of the food pipe is called as a peristaltic movement. Name the tissue that transport water and minerals in plant. It's a xylem. Okay, the tissue which transport food. It's a phloem. What is the role of acid in our stomach? Okay, acid. It's a gastric juice, hydrochloric acid. Okay, it acidifies the food and it disinfects the food by destroying harmful microorganisms present in the food particles. Next, what is emulsification? The process in which the breakdown of large globules into small flat globules by the bile juice is known as emulsification. Name the cell organelle in which photosynthesis occurs. It occurs in chloroplast. It occurs in chloroplast. Define the transpiration. The process of loss of water through the stomata present on the leaves of the plant body is called as a transpiration. What are stomata? Tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves are called as a stomata. What is the role of pepsin enzyme in stomach? Pepsin enzyme break down the proteins. Okay, pepsin converts protein into polypeptides. Polypeptides. Okay, it is the role of pepsin. Next, what are villi? The finger-like projections present in the wall of the intestine are called villi. Okay, they are very important. They are what functional units of our what digestive system. They absorb a food. Next, next, what is a respiration? The process in which glucose is broken down with the help of oxygen and release of energy with along a production of carbon dioxide. Water is called as a respiration. What is a diaphragm? A thin membrane which separates the chest cavity and abdominal cavity is called as a diaphragm. Define double circulation. Blood travels twice through a heart to complete a one cycle of the body is called as a double circulation. To complete a one circulation, blood flows twice to the heart. That's it's called as a double circulation. What is a lymph? Lymph is a white fluid made up of white blood cells, especially lymphocytes, the cells that attack bacteria. Okay, in the blood. Okay, lymph gives a what defense mechanism to our body. What is translocation? Transport of a food from leaves to different parts of the plant body. Okay, whatever the diffused materials are there in photosynthesis, those are translocated. What is excretion? The process in which wastes are removed from our body. It's called as the removal of waste from our body. It is called as a what excretion. What is the structural and functional unit of kidney? Those are nephrons. Okay. Now we are going to discuss two more questions. How is the small intestine designed to absorb a digested food? Digestion is one of the largest process taking place in the human body. The process of digestion involves several steps as well as the organs. It starts with the mouth and ends at anus. The tract is also referred to as a alimentary canal. The organs involved in the alimentary canal are mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Small intestine is the among them and plays a major role. Okay, next question they asked what 2 marks. Neat label diagram showing open and closed structure of a stomata. Both these are what structure of a stomata A and B. Okay, they are present on the small what they are present in surface of leaves, small pores. if we if we observe those pores on electron microscope, if we observe those pores on electron microscope, we see there guard cells are there. What we see a guard cells. Then we see there what a green color chloroplast, and what small pores, those are called as stomatal pores. Okay, if a stomatal pore is what opened, then it is open stomata, and if a stomatal pore is closed, then slightly closed, then it is a closed structure of a stomata. Write the equation for the process of breakdown of glucose in the cell, okay, in presence of oxygen. Okay, they given here a slightly wrong reactions. Why? Because in presence of oxygen is compulsory, plus O2 it's requires here. Okay, there is no need presence of oxygen. Then C6H12O6 plus O2 gives rise to CO2 plus H2O energy. In presence of oxygen, whatever the respiration occurs, it called what we call aerobic respiration. And in absence of oxygen, here no need of plus O2. C6H12O6, in absence of oxygen, what it gives? It gives ethanol, C2H5OH plus CO2 plus energy. Here more amount of energy is released, here less amount of energy is released. Here presence of oxygen is there, here absence of oxygen is there. It is called as aerobic respiration, it is called as anaerobic respiration. Then aerobic respiration occurs in green plants and anaerobic respiration occurs in yeast or etc. Then write the difference between inhalation and exhalation, they asked here. The lungs expand with air and oxygen diffuses across the lung surface entering the bloodstream. It is called as inhalation. Then exhalation, the lungs expel air and the lung volume decreases. Then inhalation, the chest cavity increases in size due to the downward movement of the diaphragm. The diaphragm moves up and the chest cavity becomes narrow. List the three events which occur during photosynthesis. For our exam, it's a very important question. Exam point of view, it's a very important question. The three events that occur during the process of photosynthesis are: chlorophyll absorbs the light energy and it splits water molecule into oxygen and hydrogen. It splits water molecule into what? Hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, hydrogen and oxygen gas is liberated here. Then conversion of light energy into chemical energy, it's a second step. Then third step, formation of a carbohydrates by reduction of a carbon dioxide. How does transpiration helps in upward transport of a substances? Transpiration helps in upward transport of a substances in plants by drawing water up from the roots. During the transpiration, water evaporates through pores in the leaves called stomata. This creates a negative pressure in the leaves that helps to move water up from the roots through xylem. It's a very important. There is no need of energy in plants because of a transpiration, because less amount of energy is required. Whatever the plants prepare their food, okay, in that food they consume very less because of transpiration. Why? Because there is no need of a energy in the form of ATP. That's why plants use food less for them and give others more. What are the differences between autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition? Autotrophic nutrition. In this mode of nutrition, food is synthesized from inorganic substances. What heterotrophic nutrition? In this mode of nutrition, food is obtained from autotrophs or another organisms. In autotrophic nutrition, chlorophyll and sunlight are required. In heterotrophic nutrition, chlorophyll and sunlight are not required. Food is generally prepared at a daytime in where autotrophic nutrition. Food can be obtained anytime from other organisms in where heterotrophic nutrition. All green plants and some bacteria possess autotrophic mode of nutrition. All fungi and animals possess a heterotrophic mode of nutrition because for what their food requirement they depends on others. What is the function of digestive enzyme? What is the function of digestive enzyme? See here. Digestive enzymes help in the breakdown of food so that the nutrients contained within the food can be absorbed. The hydrochloric acid present in our stomach dissolves bit of the food and creates an acidic medium. In this acidic medium, the enzyme pepsin break down into proteins. Proteins are converted into polypeptides. I already told for you. This is the protein digesting enzyme. Which one? Digestive enzyme. Then next, write the function of components of blood. write the functions of the components of the blood. Components are RBC, WBC, and platelets. RBC, red blood cells are red blood corpuscles. They carry what? They carry the oxygen with hemoglobin, transport oxygen to the lungs, to the rest of the body. They carry oxygen all parts of the body as a oxyhemoglobin. Okay, and brings back the carbon dioxide as a carboxyhemoglobin again to where? To lungs, and it helpful to expel the air. White blood cells, they are primarily responsible for the protecting the body from infection. Blood platelets, they help the blood clotting process at the site of an injury. Why is small intestine in herbivorous longer in carnivorous? Herbivores have a longer small intestine than carnivores because they eat plants and grass based food that are high in cellulose. Okay, cellulose which takes a long time to digest. To digest a grass, herbivores have a longer intestine than carnivores. Carnivores, what they eat? They eat a flesh. No need of what uh, no data for time to digest the food, but within a short period of time the flesh is digested. That's why whatever the carnivorous animals are there, in those animals small intestine is smaller one, and whatever the herbivores are there, they eat grass like items contains cellulose requires more time to digest. That's why their digestive system is longer one. Okay, in next video clip we are going to discuss 3 mark questions related to life process. Okay, 3 mark questions, 4 mark questions, or other questions. Okay, hopefully these videos are useful for you. ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮೇಲಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಳಿ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಏನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಟಚ್ ಇದ್ದವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಇದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೇಲಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನ್ಪುಳಿಯುವಂಥ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಅನಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್.